I'm a team player, so I am going to share some common icks of dating in 2025. It's trash, by the way. If you're married, just stay married. I think you're going to be better off if you just stay married. Even if you're unhappy, I just recommend staying married, okay?
To be fair, her telling people to stay married is some pretty solid advice, because for most people, there's nothing good waiting for them in the streets. This is especially true for people who want to get divorced because they're bored and want something new. But in the long run, it's not really in your best interest to leave a partner who's otherwise good for you in every other way. People always think the grass is greener on the other side, and those who step out on their partner for that all-new experience usually have to learn the hard way. So don't let this be you.
It's nothing. It's trash. The dating pool is trash. 40 plus, trash. Straight downhill. But let's talk about some common icks, okay? Emotional intelligence, right? You would think whenever you start getting into the 40 plus club that there'd be some emotional intelligence. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Not true at all. I dated a guy who literally I felt like I was just banging my head against a wall anytime that there was conflict.
Now, it's hard to say if these guys are lacking in emotional intelligence or if they're just not giving her the type of response she wants. Honestly, when people use that term, I don't even know what they mean by it because it all seems so vague to me, at least when I see it being used in videos like this. What would have been helpful is if she went into more detail about how the guy handled the conflicts they had. It'd also be good to know if they were actually in a relationship, because dating doesn't mean they were official. And if he's anything like me, I'm not trying to have heated discussions with someone I'm only hooking up with.
And I try and talk through it with him, and it was just like literally banging my head against the wall. I'm like, this is pointless. This is pointless. How can you be 40 whatever and lack emotional intelligence? If you had anything going for you, I would think it'd be emotional intelligence when you're in your 40s. No, not this guy.
She says that she tried to talk through things with the guy she was dating, but still, she doesn't say anything about how he responded to the situation.
Second ick, someone that just agrees with everything that you say. Like, I was talking to one guy, and every single time that I would say something, he would agree with it. I don't want someone agreeing with me all the time. I want someone like pushing my buttons and calling me out and challenging my thought process. Like, if I wanted someone to agree with me all the time, I don't know. Like, my kids don't even agree with me all the time. I need someone to challenge my thought process. So, 2 icks. What are your icks? What are your icks? What are your dating icks?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy who always agrees with a woman just because you don't want to risk upsetting her. Now, this is a very different thing from people trying to say or do things that they know will stir some shit up just because they need drama. That sort of person, you're better off avoiding. If you always agree with a woman, it can come off as being passive, especially if she's got reason to believe that you're actually not on the same page about whatever you're talking about. Being able to stand your ground is important to women because generally, they don't want a guy who'll easily fold under pressure.
Okay, dating ick part 2. I probably have 1,000 of these because I've gone on several dates over the past 8 months, and it's terrifying. It's so terrifying. Anyways, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but girls really do care about how tall you are. I mean, I do. If you're a short girl, you can date whoever you want. If you're a tall female, I'm 5'6", 5'7", we have to date taller men.
It will never get old to me how it's fully acceptable for women to be super blunt about their height preference. But when men have a weight preference, all hell breaks loose.
I can't date someone that's 5'6". It's not like, no, I can't do it. So anyways, I met this guy on a dating app. We went to lunch. It said he was like 6'1", and I'm like, perfect. This is great. You know, we go to lunch and I meet him there, and he's already like inside sitting down. I'm like, that's weird. So I go in, I get to the table. I'm expecting him to stand up and like greet me. He stayed seated. How tall do we think he was? Do you think he was 6'1"? The answer is no. He was not. He was not. He was like my height. He was like 5'6" or 5'7". And I'm thinking, how did you accidentally put that you were 6 foot or 6'1"?
Would I stand up to greet someone? I don't know. Honestly, maybe I've become too nonchalant about this whole thing. So if a girl didn't want to see me again because of that, so be it. In any case, I get why some men feel the need to lie about their height on dating apps, but it's a pretty silly move, because it's not like they won't be found out when they go to meet a girl. And it's probably not going to work out if they know that height's an important factor. And if you're going to lie about your height, why would you make the gap between your fantasy height and real height so huge? In that same vein though, women also like to mislead guys about their weight. And while they won't be specific about it on their profile, they'll take pictures in a way that'll hide how big they actually are. I've been a victim of this one too many times. And it's not easy to hold back that level of shock when you're first meeting someone who's much bigger than you thought they'd be. To quickly circle back though, I wonder if this guy stayed seated to delay her actually getting to see how tall he was, thinking that he'd be able to win her over during their date. And by the end, she'd like him so much that she wouldn't take any notice of his height.
Was it an accident? It wasn't an accident. But anyways, so as we're leaving the restaurant, it gets worse. It gets worse. As we're leaving the restaurant, I get to the door and I expect him to open the door for me. Do you think he opened the door for me? No, he did not open the door for me. I'm standing at the door like, surely he's going to get the hint. Surely he's going to get the hint. No, he didn't. He didn't get the hint. He never opened the door. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to have to open this door myself. So I open the door, we leave, he walks me to my car and he's like, I had a really, really great time. Like, we have a very good connection. I'd love to do this again. And I'm like, no, buddy, no, short king. We are not doing this again. You can't even open my door and you're the same height as me. No.
Let's be real. Even if this guy opened the door, it wouldn't have changed her opinion about him because the revelation of his height was more than enough to put her off. And I say that because it's something she keeps bringing up, so it's obviously super important to her. I haven't heard anyone use the term high-calorie woman in a minute, but that shit should stick around if this whole short king thing is gonna stay in the social consciousness. Now, for this last part, I only have half the video because the first half she had some loud-ass music in the background that I just couldn't get rid of. But to catch you up, it seems like she came to the realization that she's the problem when it comes to her dating failures due to the kind of men she chooses. She even asked women to question what type of men they're into, and she didn't want them to list the things they're comfortable saying out loud, but the things that they're actually attracted to. You know, the more toxic stuff, which I think is something women should be honest with themselves about.
Full body of tattoos, that's my type. Big muscles, little TRT, my type. Emotionally unavailable, add that to the list. Who's the problem now, Danielle? You are. I'm the problem. This is a me problem. This really is a me problem. We wonder, why isn't it working out? Why aren't these guys good? Look at what you're picking, girl. Tatty daddies, emotionally unavailable, 40 to 50, trauma. This is a you problem. You problem. I'm talking to myself.
Now, if she's being serious about this revelation, at least she's noticed that the kind of men she's drawn to aren't necessarily going to be what's best for her future if she's looking for something long-term. The problem is, though, if this is what she's attracted to, she can't force herself to like other types of men. So honestly, I don't know what an actual workaround would be unless you're someone who's capable of hijacking your own brain and making adjustments to whatever your type is. In any case, now that she's identified at least one of the issues that's crippling her dating life, at least now she can probably do something about it. Maybe therapy would help. She even suggested that in the comments herself, and people had a lot to say about this particular video.
I'm absolutely disgusted with my choices in men. I've got to do better.
Easy to see from the outside looking in. I'm usually attracted to what's not good for me.
I tell my female friends this all the time. You are the problem. You will tell me every problem, then say, it's all right this time.
Anyway, guys, I'm done with all this for today. But what do you think about it? Drop your thoughts down below and let me know.